When I was young, me and my mama.
Hi everyone, I just want to quickly address the Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Williams situation. For those that don't know, Mark Wahlberg got paid $1.5 million for the reshoots of All the Money in the World. It's this movie where this billionaire refuses to pay a ransom for his grandson. But anyway, the reshoots were because of the Kevin Spacey allegations. They came out, they dropped him. Instead of canning the movie altogether, they did reshoots. They brought everybody back, besides Kevin Spacey of course, with the new actor. I don't remember his name. Anyway, what's really important is that for the reshoots, Michelle Williams got paid, I guess, under $1,000, but Mark Wahlberg got paid $1.5 million. And everyone is up in arms about pay inequality. People just assume, oh wow, her male counterpart got paid astronomically more money than she did. This is a travesty. This is an example of sexism and pay disparity within the industry. Well, I disagree. And here's why. Number one, the Washington Post reported in November that Mark Wahlberg is a notoriously shrewd and vicious negotiator. Number two, Mark Wahlberg is a much bigger star right now than Michelle Williams. He is much higher in demand. His movies gross more money. And that leads to number three, he had so much leverage, and 3B, he used it. Mark Wahlberg knew they're already replacing one person, and it's the reason for the reshoots. And who are they replacing? Kevin Spacey, who is arguably the biggest name in the movie. Now, replacing him, Mark Wahlberg becomes the main attraction. What do they do when Mark Wahlberg says, no, I'm not gonna do a reshoot for $1,000 or whatever it is? Are they gonna say, okay, now we need to replace Mark Wahlberg and turn 10 days of reshoots into more because Mark Wahlberg is in more scenes than Kevin Spacey was? And then end up paying more money to this new actor and having already paid Mark Wahlberg for his contributions to the film? No, they're going to pay Mark Wahlberg more money because he's a star, he asked for it, and they need to finish this movie. No one talks about what Michelle Williams did or did not do as far as negotiations go. Imagine they bring her in, because the negotiations aren't done in a big kumbaya circle, they bring her in, they say, or they bring her agent in, and they say, this is what we have for the reshoots. And her agent brings this back to Michelle Williams, and she's like, all right. In contrast, they bring this to Mark's agent, and Mark says,
absolutely fucking not.
Give me more money. And then there's a negotiation period, and at the end of it, Mark Wahlberg gets what he got, $1.5 million. In my opinion, he earned that. Should they now, after negotiating with the two of them, go back to Michelle Williams or her agent and say, hey, this is what we gave Mark Wahlberg after he freaking pinned us against the wall, so we're gonna give this to you too. Pfft.
What? No.
Come on. He worked for that. He negotiated it. People will often cry, equal work for equal pay. Well, in my opinion, if Mark Wahlberg went and negotiated for that price, he put his butt on the line because he could have been fired from the movie. And she did not do the same. She did not fight for herself. She did not fight for that raise. Then she earned what she got. Mark Wahlberg earned what he got. And rather than everyone blame the movie makers, blame the studios, blame Mark Wahlberg, you should take this as a lesson. Mark Wahlberg set a great example. You have the leverage. Negotiate. Stand up for yourself. Don't be Michelle Williams. Do you really think, after all this came out, that the next time this happens, Michelle Williams won't think twice and say, I should probably ask for more money? Do you really think she's gonna say, oh yeah, sure, I'll take the $1,000?
Oh, no.
We should use it as a learning opportunity. We shouldn't use it to say the industry isn't fair, because they were both provided an opportunity to negotiate something that was better for them. Mark Wahlberg took that opportunity. Michelle Williams did not. This isn't about race. This isn't about gender. This is simply a matter of negotiation. We, the public, should not be negotiating on behalf of Michelle Williams. That is the job of her agent, to an extent herself as well. If they choose not to do that, it's not on us to go after the people who write their checks and say, what happened here? Everyone has a job to do. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. In this case, we happen to. People all over Hollywood say the same thing. Mark Wahlberg is a notorious negotiator. He had them backed against a wall on this movie. And again, Mark Wahlberg is a huge draw right now. I'm sorry, but Michelle Williams is not the same caliber draw right now as Mark Wahlberg is. She just isn't. So if we're going to pay her the same as Mark Wahlberg, simply based on the fact that she is a woman, that, my friends, right there is sexist. And that's my piece on that. Let's argue.